Hi, my name is Rod Khleif, and I'm the host of the Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing podcast. And every week I interview multifamily rock stars, and we talk about how they've built incredible wealth for themselves and their families through multifamily properties. So hit the like and subscribe buttons to get notified every Monday when a new episode comes out. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Multifamily Rockstars. So as you know, this is where we interview people that are crushing it in this business, and we show you guys really the inside scoop into how multifamily investors are creating massive success, not just in their businesses, but in their lives. And as always, I've got my co-host, who's the director of my massive action team for the Warrior Mentorship Group, Mark Nagy, on the call. Mark, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Rod, depending on when this comes out, man, I'm just super excited, either this weekend or next weekend, going to meet hundreds and hundreds of people at your virtual boot camp of who want to change their lives. So that's always going to be an exciting weekend.
Well, let me actually put a plug in now. You know, guys, we've been doing virtual boot camps because of COVID, and we've got one August 28th and 29th. But I've got a live event coming up in Orlando, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Hallelujah. We're going to go live again, 3-day event. And we're doing this special deal where you get both events for less than the price of one, for I think $297. And what you want to do is you want to text Rod in Orlando to 72345, or just go to rodinorlando.com, and it's got the 2 for special on there where you can attend the virtual 2-day event, August 28th and 29th, and come to the live event, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All right. Well, with that said, I want to introduce an awesome human being that I'm super proud of and super impressed with. Her name's Tien Truong, and Tien's a pharmacist. And we met in Baltimore at my Baltimore event. And I have distinct memories of her because she wasn't sure if she wanted to join the Warrior program. And, you know, I actually was personally involved with helping her make that decision, that it was the right decision. And here we are, like a couple of years later. She's closed on 440 doors with another Warrior in the program and another friend. And they have 500 under contract right now. And she is just on fire. Tien, welcome to the show.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me on your show, Rod. I appreciate the opportunity and want to be able to share my story with everyone.
I can't wait to hear it. So let's please do a much better job of just giving us a little background on who you are and, you know, how you got to where you are today. So if you would just kind of fill in some blanks for us.
Yeah. So I went to school for pharmacy, graduated with a PharmD, and at that point in time decided that was a really great career because it provided a lot of security. There would always be a need for pharmacists. And as I was doing pharmacy for, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years, I discovered it wasn't all I thought it was. It didn't provide all of the freedom that I was really seeking. I'm building wealth, wanting to have more time to spend with friends and family. And so I started doing a little side hustle and doing like single families on the side. I mounted to like 11 units, and then COVID happened, and I decided to move across the country to California to be with my partner, Mark, and I wasn't able to practice pharmacy there anymore. So I had to figure out another way, and I guess it was good timing because it really pushed me to do something that I had been thinking about and had doubts and fears, and then COVID forced me to do it because I didn't have any other choice. So I went full time when COVID happened, and here I am.
Wow. Well, I remember, you know, how much you agonized about whether or not you wanted to join our program, and there was emotion involved, and I remember it as a beautiful thing, frankly, because, you know, to me it was, and that's why I've really been trying to get. And I know how busy you've been with your team. You're pretty much, you know, handling a lot of the moving parts, the analysis and the evaluation, and so on and so forth. So you've been very busy, and so I'm just so thrilled to get you on the show because you are definitely going to inspire other women and men, frankly, for that matter, other people into, you know, what's possible in this business. And, you know, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter. You had 11 doors when we met. Now you're within a few months, you'll be in 1,000 as in a general partnership position, which is just outstanding. So let me ask you this. First question I want to ask you, what sacrifices have you had to make to get to where you are right now? Because everybody thinks it's just, everybody sees the successes, but they don't realize that, you do have to, it's a give and take. So talk about that for a moment. Has that impacted, you and your partner's relationship, or how you've gotten around that, and speak to that for a little bit.
I can't say that I sacrificed much. It was more about, well, one thing I had to sacrifice was letting go of my fears. But other than that, I have always been a very focused person. And once I have my eyes on what I want, I spend most of my time looking for that. So maybe I did sacrifice some time that I could have spent doing other things.
Okay.
But it was worth it.
Well, let me drill down on what you just said about letting go of fear, because I remember you. I remember that you're the only person I remember that we signed up in Baltimore personally. Okay. That I remember, because I went out and talked to you. And so how did you let go of that fear? To talk about how you went through that, because let me tell you something. 90% of the people that are on this call or listening to this are experiencing that as well. They're afraid to take action, or, they're afraid of letting go. And so talk about how you got through it. What strategies did you use, if you were consciously remember them?
So it didn't happen instantly. It was a process. When I was in Baltimore at your boot camp, I had a lot of fears, and it I started overcoming it throughout the boot camp, because I was exposed to a lot of successful people, and a lot of people who are willing to help. And it wasn't so much that I got over my fear, but knowing that I had such a great support system was what, got me into the program. Like, knowing that there was someone there to help me along the way. And that's what helped you overcome my fear. Knowing I would
you had that net. If you were flying on the trapeze, you knew that net was down there, right? Would that be a good analogy, that you knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what happened with pharmacy school. It was like, as soon as you get your license, you're on your own. There is no more net. There is no one else that you can rely on. You're accountable.
Yeah.
Well, I love that answer, because it's, a lot of people think that, hey, they're just going to wake up one morning and the fear is going to be gone and they're going to feel good about it. But the truth is that you're going to have fear, and you have to take action anyways, right? And just do it. So I love that you said that. Well, tell us about some of those people. Tell us about some of the coaches or mentors or whatever you want to call it along the way that have kind of helped you get to where you're at today.
Yeah. So there were definitely fears and doubts all along the way. To submitting your first offer, to whether it was the right offer, and if you looked at the deal correctly. And that was what the coach was there for. They helped me make sure that the numbers looked good, and that I wasn't making a huge mistake, and someone to look over your shoulder every step of the way.
Just give you some certainty. Let's shift gears for a second and talk about team, because I know your team quite well. And talk about how you came into that team. What I'm looking for is how you utilized your superpower to add value to the team that you're in. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So I reached out to my partner, Sam, through Facebook Messenger. I'd never met him before. I was just starting out, and I think he was in the Warrior program before me. And I asked him if he could help me find deals in Boise, Idaho, which is a really difficult market.
But that's where he's from, right? That's his background is up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where And he's like, good luck. There's nothing there. So I didn't really connect with him till a year later. I found a deal in Albuquerque, and I heard that Sam had a partner who was based in Albuquerque. So I reached out to him again and said, hey, I have this deal. What do you think of it? And the deal looked good to him, and we partnered on that deal, and we partnered on every deal since.
Wow. Nice. And I guess what I was looking for is you are super analytical. And what I kind of wanted to share with the listeners and the viewers is that you don't have to know everything to put a deal together. You can bring your skill set. And in your case, it's analysis. I mean, and you found a deal too. So you've got multiple skills that you're bringing to the deal. And I think in your partnership, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, it does a lot of the investor relations and raises the money. So allows you to do what you're great at. He does what he's great at. And that's how these things come together. And that's just such a powerful. And so those of you listening, what I kind of wanted to convey here is, there are lots of ways you can get involved in this business. You can be the bird dog and find the deals. You can be the underwriter if you're super analytical and underwrite the deals. You can be the relationship builder and build relationships with brokers. You can wear a number of these hats. You can be the investor relations person on the investor side. You can be the operations person on the asset management side and project management. So, look in the mirror and see what you would enjoy, number one. And if you've got some experience in a similar related field, then that's even better. But if not, just look at what you enjoy, because that's going to be your superpower, and that's what you bring to a team. And so, I mean, that's kind of where I was going with that, Tien, is I know that you've really, you're in a pretty tight knit team that everybody's playing to their strengths, and it's a beautiful thing. So.
By the way, we had Sam on the podcast, episode 550. So for people listening, you want to fill in some gaps, go listen to episode 550 after this one.
There you go.
So on that topic, what is your favorite type of deal, size, what have you, and what do you like most about those types of deals?
So I first started out with, my duplexes and triplexes, and then my first multifamily deal was 30 units. And then we did like 128 units, and then we did 160. And I have found that I like anything above 150, because I'm finding it's just more scalable, and it just makes more sense on an operating side to have 150 units versus anything less, because I guess the business just doesn't support having the maintenance team that you would need. It's just a weird spot to be in.
Well, I was going to have you drill down that a little bit, because you're absolutely right. And it is a sweet spot. Now, can you do it with less? Yes. But at 150, you can have pretty much everybody you need. You can have the manager, you can have even an assistant, you can have a maintenance team, and you check off all the boxes. When you're smaller, you may have a team of one in the office. And that's what you're driving at, right, Tien?
Right. It's the amount of units and the income that you're able to produce doesn't make up for the amount of staffing that you need to support you.
Right.
Well, so let me ask, just out of curiosity, it sounds like you kind of worked your way up then a little bit in terms of unit count. If you could go back and do it all over again, do you think you would do that and start smaller, kind of just mentally, and work your way up? Or do you think you just jump to 150 plus knowing what you know today?
It's hard to say. I like the way I started out. It just was my comfort zone. So it's kind of what I needed to get there. And it's also hard because the first deal that's in Albuquerque, it's just a really hard market. So I would still buy smaller units there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Great answer. Great answer. Here's why that was a great answer. Because guys, those of you listening, you may just need to go do that house, that duplex, that triplex, whatever, to get started. But the bottom line is get freaking started. Okay. So, yes. If it's got to be a small one, make it a small one. Now, sure. I ask the question all the time. Mark stole my question, which is, whenever I have a successful person, I want to ask them, if they could go back and tell their 19-year-old self or 20-year-old self something about this business, what might they do differently? And the answer almost invariably is go bigger, faster. But I love the fact that you said that you needed those stepping stones to get to the larger ones. And many people do, myself included. So great answer. So let me ask you this. What are you really excited about right now? What's exciting about where you're at in life and what's coming?
I'm excited to grow this business and this partnership. I never thought I would have been here, and I think the partnership that I have with Sam and Lyndon, we all were the missing puzzle pieces that we all needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just exciting to keep growing every year.
Yeah. Yeah. You reach these bandwidth plateaus, and then you're like, okay, how do we get to the next level? And yeah, but it's a quality problem. You know, there's problems in life and there's quality problems. That's a quality problem. By the way, you guys might want to check out the EOS system if you haven't already. I know I've introduced it to Sam because Sam's part of the mastermind, and he's aware of it. But that's really helped us a lot with growth. You know, it's from the book Traction. So let me ask you this. What roadblocks do you think someone that's new, that's getting into this business might want to, by the way, let me say this before I ask that question. Guys, if you're interested in the Warrior program, come check us out. There's an application process, but just text the word crush to 72345. Again, that's crush to help, so we can help you crush it in this business, to 72345. And our Warriors are now approaching 46,000 units owned. And I've been teaching less than 4 years, and I'm beyond proud of that. So again, if you're interested, text that crush to 72345, and we will check you out. You can check us out. And if it's a fit, you'll be joining the greatest group of people I've ever been associated with. But anyway, my question was that I forgot what my question was.
Roadblocks.
Roadblocks. Yeah. What roadblocks thank you. Should somebody that's new getting into this business maybe consider? Now, I don't want to scare them into stop them from starting with your answer, but is there anything that comes to mind that maybe you encountered that you might be able to shed some light on for somebody that's new, that's about to get going?
My biggest roadblock was fear. I don't know what it was a fear of failing, fear of being successful. I don't know. It was just fear. And I think a lot of people don't have enough faith or belief in themselves. And if you don't have that yet, just find someone who can support you, and eventually you'll believe in yourself. And that's what a support system is there for.
What an awesome freaking answer.
I don't know.
What's awesome about that answer? What's awesome about that answer is a lot of people do have fear of success too. It's not just fear of failure. I'm going to tell you guys, if you've got either of those fears, fear being in the same freaking place you are right now, a year from now, unless you love where you are right now. And look at you, what you've accomplished. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you, Tien, and just to see where you were and where you've gotten. And listen, you were a success when you came in into that boot camp in Baltimore with your doctorate and everything else, and you were unhappy. And life, what's the purpose of life? I interviewed Robert Allen earlier today, who you wouldn't know, is before your time, but he wrote like millions of books in the real estate business. One of my old mentors from literally 30 years ago. And he asked me that question, what's the purpose of life? And the purpose of life is to be happy, right? And so, you're doing what you love now, and you're working for yourself. So, just like I said, I'm a little gushy just because you are really, I'm so proud of you. And it's just such a treat to see what you've accomplished, seeing who you were before and who you are now. So anyway.
Well, I think just on that topic really quickly, that even is a fear of people themselves is that, we talk about goals a lot at your boot camps and whatnot. And I think sometimes people, when they think about goals, is you have to look yourself in the mirror when you're doing that. Not only are you saying, hey, I want this, but part of writing down your goals is accepting to yourself that, hey, I haven't taken action, right? And I haven't done this. And some people just don't want to face that, right? And so that's a fear in itself that I see in a lot of students joining the program, is that the rubber has to finally meet the road. Time to stop listening, time to stop educating, and take action, right? And I think that can be a big piece for a lot of it. But Tien, in your opinion, what do you think are some questions that everybody should ask themselves before they jump into taking action and starting this thing?
What's the worst that could happen? Like, why? What's stopping me from doing this? I don't know.
Great answer.
What's stopping me from having the life of my dreams?
Great answer.
Was that a question you think you asked yourself back then?
What did I ask myself? I don't think I asked myself that question. It was more just like, I was just scared to take the first step. I don't know why.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just such a delight to see where you are now and see this incredible progress that you've made. Let me ask you this: as you were going through this journey, were there any aha moments? Were there any like epiphanies where you're like, okay, I now I see this, or now, just I don't want to elaborate, but anything come to mind when I ask that question? Any aha pivotal moments for you?
I don't think that's happened to me yet.
No? Okay. Okay. So, there are a lot of people that were like you back then, fearful, not sure you didn't believe, you didn't have the confidence, the self-confidence to push forward into this. What would you tell someone that feels that you feel, that's feeling that way, that might be thinking about doing the business? This is the last question I'm going to ask you, but just what would you tell that person that knows they want more out of life? They're not happy where they're at. I'm only speaking for I only want you to speak the ones that aren't happy. If they're happy, obviously keep doing what they're doing. But if they're not happy, what would you tell that person about this business or about life in general?
I'd say it's completely normal what you're feeling, and there is nothing wrong with that. And it's just, you just need guidance. It's completely normal to not know what you're doing. Just find someone who's done it before, and they'll take you along the way, and you won't feel so fearful because this person has done it before, and there's nothing to be scared of.
What a wonderful answer. You've given the really great answers today, Tien, because you validated the fear as well. And that's awesome. You didn't say just ignore it. It's okay to feel it. And I love the answer that way. Well, listen, I really appreciate you coming on, Tien. And I know you've inspired thousands of people, because this podcast is pushing 12 million downloads now. And so just, I know, it took us a while to get us together because you're busy. But I'm glad you came on, and it's great to see your face. And I hope I see you. We've got a Warrior Only event coming up here shortly in Sarasota. I don't know if you can make that. If not, we've got the boot camp in Orlando in December. Hopefully I'll see you at one of the events and in the networking component of it. But say hi to the boys for me, and it's great to see you.
Great seeing you too. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Mark, I'll see you later.
Rod, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. Now, I know you've been hard at work helping our Warrior students do just that using our ACT methodology, which is awareness, close, and transform. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
You bet. Guys, we've been going nonstop for 3 years, building an amazing community of like-minded people. And our coaching students, which we call our Warriors, have had extraordinary results. They've purchased thousands and thousands of units. And last year, we did over 1,000 units with our students. And we're looking to grow this group and take it to the next level. We're looking for people who want to follow a proven framework that's really step by step, and then leverage our systems and network to raise equity, to find and close deals, and to build partnerships nationwide. Now, our Warrior community is finding success in any market cycle. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become more of our incredible network and take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are coming very soon, apply to work with us at mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345, and we'll set up a call so you can check us out and we can check you out. That's mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345.